Welcome back again. In this segment, I'm going to walk you through making a fireplace for our house. So we're going to make the fireplace over on the far side of the house. So adjust your house so you can see this side. Now the next step we're going to do is we're going to make what I call a reference line. I want to know where the center is from the midpoint of the roof down to the base of the house. So select our line tool. And we're going to move our mouse until it says end point right there. We're going to click and let go. And move our mouse all the way down and select on face. There's our little reference point. Now, if this ever happens to you where you see the line tool is still kind of connected, just hit the escape key on your keyboard and it lets go of whatever you were doing. Let's go over to the box or rectangle tool. And we're going to make a little rectangle to form the base of our fireplace. I'm going to move my camera a little bit so I get a nice downward view right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to move out to start there, move out to about there. And we're going to click and make a rectangle. You know what? I want to make this a little larger, so I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go a little bit farther out on this side, make sure we're on the edge. I'm going to click, and as I move the mouse, you'll notice it's going to make a little rectangle, and we don't want to make this too far out. We want to make it pretty flush, pretty close to the house. This is going to be the brick of the outside part of the fireplace. We'll click and let go. Looks good. Let's go to our push-pull tool, and let's click and move this section all the way up. And we're going to drag this as high as we want our fireplace to be. So you can always move your camera around a little bit, get a sense for how tall you'd like your particular fireplace and chimney to be. So I'm going to drag this a little bit higher. Oh, notice I'm selecting the wrong part there. Let's make sure you get the right part. There we go. All right, and now that I look at that from the side, it looks a little too tall. So let's move that down a little bit. Again, a lot of this is kind of guess and check. Get into where you want it to be. You can always do little adjustments later. Okay, I think I like that. I think that's pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a temporary reference line that goes down the middle of this chimney. So I'm going to move my mouse onto this line until it says midpoint and click and let go. Move my mouse all the way to the bottom and click. And now we have a reference point so we know where the middle of this is. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our line tool, and we're going to use this to make a segment that we can push in to kind of make the chimney get narrower as it gets close to the top. Most homes, the big fireplace is down here, and then you have a narrow chimney. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to about here. We don't want to be right where the roof is. Let's go up a little bit, maybe about right there. And we're going to click and make a line that goes across to that edge. And then we're going to wrap this all the way around. So I'm going to click and make that go straight that way. Make another line. And this is just so both sides are even. So I'm going to click and click. So make a series of lines that goes around the edges there. And now to clean this up a little bit, what we can do is we can grab our eraser tool. And let's erase that line there and that line there. And now we're going to use our push-pull tool. And we're going to push this section in just a little bit, about equal on both sides. We'll go right there, right there. All right, let's move this in a little closer. We'll move that in there. And we'll move that in there. Okay. Looks pretty good. And now we can get rid of this middle reference line. This line was just so I know if these two sides are even. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Maybe this side could go in a little bit farther. There we go. So let's grab that eraser tool. Let's go over here and erase this line. If I can click it. There we go. And now we're going to make kind of make it taper up on either side, angled up. So to do that, we need to make some triangles. We're going to use our line tool. So select the line tool. And we're going to click right here on this end point. And let's make a line up to the midpoint there. Let's do the same thing on this side. I'm going to click here and go up to the midpoint there. And now we have some triangles that we can use our push-pull tool to drag across. So I'm going to select push-pull. I'm going to try to get this little triangle right there and drag it across until it says on edge. And let go. We'll do the same thing on the other side. You may have to shift your camera around a little bit when you do this. I'm going to hold down shift and drag my camera around a little. Get it just where I want it. And I'm going to click, drag that across. It should say on edge or midpoint. Usually it will kind of catch wherever you want it. Excellent. And now let's clean this up a little bit with that eraser tool. So we'll select the eraser. And we can erase this line right here and that line right there. There we go. A little bit of a lag, but seems like it's working. Erase that. Erase that. Let's do the same thing on the other side of the chimney. We'll erase these lines here, there, and there. And that line may or may not be something that we can get rid of. There's a little dot there. That's not a big deal. All right, and now we can go ahead and make this look like a chimney by adding brick to it. So we're going to go to our paint tool, select paint, and now over here we click the hourglass so we can get our different textures. There's a menu called brick, cladding, and siding. We'll select that because we want some brick, and go ahead and pick out a brick that you think looks good for your chimney. I'm going to go with this classic looking brick right here. And now we can use our paint can to fill in all the sides of our chimney, just like that. And now the top, we want to make this look a little more accurate. So what we can do, we can go ahead and paint this if we want to. And then let's go ahead and let's grab our tool that offsets. So we're going to click here, go to the offset tool. And I'm going to click somewhere on this surface. I'm going to click and hold the mouse this time. Oop. Not sure what I did there. We'll make sure we undo that. Oh, I guess let's do this before we have the brick. So I'm going to click there and offset that a bit. There, that's easier to see. So we'll offset that. And now we can use our push-pull tool to push this down a little bit to make it look like an actual chimney. And using the paint can, I think what I'll do is I'll add brick here, brick there, paint all the insides of that brick. And then to make that look like a dark cavernous tube, we'll go to the home right here. I'll select black, and I'll paint the inside of that black. And there we go. We just made ourselves a chimney. Congratulations.